Alright, hello everyone, this is Deathline. This is finally the start of your PokéPark Wii Pikachu's Adventure Any Percent tutorial. Um, I've been saying I was going to do this for a very long time, so you finally get one. This is going to be quote-unquote a live tutorial where I'm talking live and I'm playing the game at the same time instead of playing the game and then talking over gameplay, because it's kind of hard to do this game that way in a speedrun. Um, so I'm just going to go over some basics really quick. I'm currently playing on the Wii version, which has a physical disc. There is also the Wii U Virtual Console version. It does not matter which one you play on. No, they are not different. People will tell you that one loads faster than the other, one does this, one does that. The only difference that I've experienced in my time of playing this game with both versions, because I own both versions, is that the yes/no menus that you're going to see a whole bunch throughout the run are a little bit less laggy on the Wii U VC version, but you still can't get through the menu any quicker than you would on the Wii version. Maybe like 0.01, 0.05 faster, but honestly, I don't think they're they're any different. I've played the Wii version on a Gen 1 Wii and a Gen 2 Wii, and I don't see any difference. So it does not matter which one you play on, whatever's easier for you. In my opinion, I recommend the Wii U VC if you still own a Wii U, even though that console is quite poor. It is only $20 on the Wii U VC shop, whereas most eBay copies for the Wii version are around $30 now. So that out of the way, welcome to PokéPark Wii. You have 4 save files, and I recommend that you play your game on Game 1 instead of Game 2, Game 3, or Game 4. This will become apparent later in the run. I'm not going to do that because I have a save file already on that, but you'll see why later. So pick a file, preferably Game 1. Does not matter really which though. You'll just lose a little bit of time if you don't pick Game 1. From here, it does not matter which one you pick as a picture. You get 8 pictures. Pick which one you think is going to be your good luck charm for the run and use that. Before starting the run, you want to go to your options and then change the text speed to fast. This saves 3 minutes. And then personally, I like to turn Rumble off. It does not matter if it's on or off. I just like turning it off. And then without further ado, timing starts on play in PokéPark. Splits don't really matter too much as long as you start and end at the correct time. You can change your split methods however you like. I usually do it at the end of each zone since there's a lot that goes on. So starting off, you get like a 1-minute cutscene before you get any text, so you just get to enjoy this. How this tutorial is going to be structured is I'm going to break it into multiple parts. It's not going to be one long giant video because that would be a pain to get through. They're going to be split by zones, so I'm going to do a tutorial through Meadow Zone, Beach Zone, Iceberg, Cavern, Lava, Haunted, Granite, and then Flower plus Ending tutorial parts. And then they'll all be in a playlist on YouTube where you can pick which one you want to watch and then get through. The main basis of this is to get through the current 80% tutorial route. I will explain a whole bunch of different things, some differences that I do personally as a world record holder, compared to someone who might want to just pick up this game and look at the current route. So here you get a whole bunch of text mute. You just want to mash through this. I just mash 1 and 2 on the Wiimote. No more than that. I don't think it really matters to mash both at the same time. You can mash 1 or 2. I just mash both because 2 inputs. So once you're done with that, you get a little bit of more stuff with Chatot. This is the tutorial section of the game. Basically, them explaining to you what to do and how to play. I'm going to do that for you. The game's going to force it to tell me. Alright, so you move around the D-pad, of course. You start off a walk, and then Pikachu will progressively start into a little bit of a trot. Right there, you saw Pikachu like flipped around. If you're walking like that and you press like the opposite direction on the D-pad, he'll do like a little bit of like a quick turnaround where he doesn't lose too much momentum by turning around, and he'll keep going. Generally, we don't ever want to do this because we're trying not to ever walk. There are a few occasions where you need to walk though, um, and it's just something you have to practice in order to get good at. It's really hard to walk with a D-pad in this game. Next, you press the 2 button. This will jump. Pikachu can either do a full jump or a small jump. I tend to call the small jump soft hopping because it's just, or a full hop. And I don't know why I call that. They call it a jump. I just soft hop or full hop, and it's just how I differentiated it. It'll become apparent which one, when you're walking or running, if you do a front flip in the air, you do a full hop. But if and usually when Pikachu's running with a dash, which is this, you can see by the airlines that, or the speed or whatever, you can tell, that he'll usually do a full hop. If you're walking, you can do soft hops like this. So that's just part of the game. If you press A, which we don't have the ability to do yet, I'll explain that in a little bit, you'll do a Thunderbolt. So just run up straight to Chatot. From where you start, you just want to run straight and then casually tap the D-pad right a little bit, and that'll get you to like the very corner where it's best to start this cutscene fastest. From here, just mash 1 and then hold right, and then you'll hit the crate. Now, I got extremely lucky here, and you'll get either one of 3 things out of this crate. You get berries. So berries are the currency of this game, and we actually have a pretty strict berry route in this game where you need to buy certain upgrades at certain times. So based on my experiences and some other people's experiences, I made a berry counter, and actually I shouldn't have done that. So what you want to do from here, and it's really annoying because Pikachu's not straight on the berry's like upright. You want to hold upright, and then the second you see Pikachu turn, which I didn't do right there properly, and this is kind of hard now without a reference point, but you want to turn like upright, and like the second he turns upright like that, you want to start dashing, and then that way you'll hit the berry, and then you start holding left to move towards the correct location. It's really hard, and it takes a lot of practice, and sometimes you might just want to walk into it instead of running into it at the start. Until you can get used to being able to buffer an upright input there. Again, about berries. So green berries are the most common. You'll see them about 84% of the time whenever you break a crate or hit a tree. Green berries are worth 10. About 14% of the time you will see a red or an orange berry. I believe they're actually called red berries in the game. These are worth 50 berries. And then 2% of the time you will see a golden berry or gold berry. Don't remember what the actual terminology is. These are incredibly rare. You may see only one in 50 attempts if you're lucky. They are worth 100 berries. So once you get over here, you get the Chatot after you collect your berry. Here it's just telling you, hey, jump over the log. So just keep running and jump, and that's it. Keep holding forward. So now you're going to play chase with Chatot. So Chatot can either go left or right here. It's a little bit faster for him to go left, but more often than not, he will go right. There isn't really a way to make him go either way without losing time. So you just want to just keep dashing straight, and then just hold left or right based on the way he decides he wants to go. It's about 0.8 seconds faster to go left than it is to go right, and it really is just based on how Chatot feels of the day. See, you might think he'll go right here, but sometimes he'll go left. Okay, that time he actually went right, so I got popped. So you save around a second, like 0.7 to a second, if he goes left, depending on how well you react. So you just keep mashing through text. You get some berries for playing with Chatot. Whoop-de-doo. Binaries here. Just keep mashing through the text. Alright, once you get to this point, just keep mashing dash, just go around the tree, and then just kind of hug the tree as best as you can, and get to Binary. Right here, whenever you're lost, go find the Pokemon with 3 dex points above their head, and you'll usually get your way through the game if you're lost. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, the current any % route is a 60/70 berry route, and what that means is you need to collect either 60 or 70 total berry points, I guess. Depending on which Pokemon you friend, based on what kind of RNG you get later in the game. And this is so you can have enough money at certain checkpoints in the game to be able to buy upgrades and other things like that. So by me getting a red berry, which is actually pretty lucky, I only need to hit a tree now and get any type of berry. I can get a green berry, red berry, golden berry, doesn't matter. I just need one more berry if I do a 60 berry route, or I need 2 green berries if I do a 70 berry route. Again, depending on which Pokemon friend, which will come up later. If a good chunk of the time, though, 80%, 80+% of the time, you're going to get a green berry out of there. And after that, you're going to have to hit more and more crates throughout the run to get more berries. And I'll show off all those crates and backup berries that you can get later in the run. So you want to quickly, it'll tell you walk up to Binary. You'll start right here, and if you wait a second, it'll actually get you to talk. But it's best if you just walk like a step and then start talking, because it'll, excuse me, I just bumped my mic. It'll initiate it a little bit faster. So just smash the text. So this is where you learn to Thunderbolt. If you press A, you get a Thunderbolt. You can upgrade that later, but the only thing that we upgrade in any % is our dash, which I'll explain when that comes up. So this is kind of difficult to do really well. I recommend just either jumping and Thunderbolting at him, or just walking a number of steps and then hitting the Thunderbolt. If you're good about it, like that, you can do about 1.5 steps, which is kind of difficult. Again, that's just with practice. And then you can Thunderbolt just the very, very, very tip of Snorlax's fingers instead of his actual body, and that'll still count as waking him up. And that can save up to a second, depending on how good you are at it. But when starting out with this game, I just recommend just walking a number of steps, or just jumping at Snorlax and then Thunderbolting. Here, just mash and just get up to Chatot as quickly as you can. And he'll give you the PokéPark pad. You're going to see this twice in the run. This is 1 of 2 times. Once you're done mashing through all this text, you just need to mash plus and then mash 1 or minus. Or you actually just mash plus both times, I believe. Yeah. Just keep mashing plus until you open close, and then just dash into Chatot. And then ta-da! You're almost done with the tutorial. The only thing from here is once Chatot leaves, you just want to hold up left on your D-pad and then start dashing towards this left here, because this signpost is going to stop you to give you a stupid tutorial. Signboard, excuse me. And then up left, and then go around the tree stump. And then, so this is a yes-no menu. You're going to get a lot of these throughout the run. Every yes-no menu is automatically on no, which will always be on the right side a good portion of the time. You want to yes, so you have to menu over and click yes. So there you go. That is tutorial. Again, that was all pretty self-explanatory. I just wanted to go through some of the things that you're going to have to get used to throughout the run. So welcome to Meadow Zone, the first official zone of the game. This is your grasslands area. Pretty simple, not too hard to learn. Also for reference, yes, I know my video is stretched. Don't bug me about that later. I'm just playing stretch because it's easier to record. Just dash straight forward once the cinematic cutscene's done. You get that for most zones. I believe all of them, actually. And then, yeah. So just dash forward so you can talk to Chikorita and Baneri. Congrats, you found Chikorita. That was a plot point. We don't really care. From here, just keep dashing forward to Bulbasaur. And then most of the time, when you want to talk to someone fast, instead of stopping like this out of the dash, when you're dashing and you hold down on the D-pad, which again is not perfect because sometimes the camera will mess your D-pad up because movement is based on the camera, not on Pikachu, which is annoying. I mean, it's based on Pikachu, but sometimes the camera can influence that. If you press the B button, this will always center Pikachu's camera to the way he's facing. But sometimes the movement is just messed up by the camera horribly. So if you hold down, usually, or the direction that is opposite from which the direction Pikachu is running, he'll do like a skid to a stop. It's usually better if you just hop and then walk forward and talk. Or just land and talk. Usually that's better instead of trying to stop. So you can avoid trying to not having to run around people. Talk to Bulbasaur, play the attraction. This is Bulbasaur's Daring Dash. This is Carpal Tunnel Simulator number 1 of the run. This is also the only attraction that you play twice. So yes, once he's done talking, just mash the heck out of plus so you can skip all the instructions. Here's where you pick your Pokemon. You want a Pikachu, so just pick Pikachu, and you'll just want to go through it. So you need to beat this within 9.7 seconds. You just shake the Wiimote as best as you can to get the meter up really fast. There are a whole bunch of different methods to shaking. I just shake the Wiimote. It's not that hard. There you go. Ta-da! So you always have a goal and a bonus time or score. Goal is what you need to get in order to beat the game, where you get a prism piece. The bonus is what you get for extra berries. Getting every single bonus is required in order to meet the berry count that we need for the route. So yes, you have to meet the bonus in order to go fast. And ta-da, you've done 1 of 14 attractions. So there, we got our first prism piece. So a lot of this game is just text mashing. You're gonna have to get used to that as well. Ta-da, Bulbasaur's now a friend. Yay. Once you do that, Trico and Mankey come steal Chikorita for some reason because per Venusaur's rules, we're not supposed to play attractions right now. I don't know why they take Chikorita because she wasn't playing. She should have taken us. I don't know how that works. Don't question it. So Baneri and Bulbasaur are going to ask you to go save your best friend Chikorita because they feel bad. So movement out of this is kind of annoying. My best recommendation is when you're done mashing through all this text, you want to hold left and then just start mashing 2. That way you can jump over Bulbasaur. Like that. And then you just want to start dashing towards Trico. Again, try and always just make it to the straightest path possible. So you're saving time instead of, giving extra corners and stuff. So Trico tells you blah 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 blah. Now you have to go run back. So here we're gonna get Munchlax. So turn around. Okay, I actually did that wrong. You're not supposed to turn around there by holding down. You want to hold down left and then start dashing. That's just a little bit easier than holding straight down. But again, sloppy. But you get the point. Just hold down left and start mashing. You want to go straight for Munchlax here, and the reason why we don't do this before going to Trico is because Munchlax has a huge cutscene hitbox right there, or loading zone, which pulls you in closer, which saves the amount of time you're having to run towards Munchlax. So here, just hold upright and dash into the crate. And then don't immediately... Most of the time when we hit a crate, you jump towards it, but if you do that, you'll talk to Munchlax instead, so you have to walk up to the berry and then pick it up and give it to Munchlax. It's one of the few times we don't immediately jump after hitting a crate or a tree. So there, Munchlax talking about the berries again that I explained. So from here, now you want to immediately turn left and go play Chase with Turtwig. I'm not going to get into too specific of a detail on like all the possible different outcomes and routes that a Pokemon can take during the chase or a battle, because there are a lot, like a lot. I will try and make notes here and there about certain things you can do or certain quick kills or things like that, but most of the time you just want to just chase them or battle them the best is to your ability, and it's a lot harder to talk about it without showing. So I always recommend just watching some of my past videos and just skimming through the run, seeing how I do certain things or certain ways things are done like that. That's just one of many patterns Turtwig can give me. He can run up right, he can up left, he can run straight left and then up left. It's just a lot of stuff. So now Pachirisu and Bonsai are going to spawn in. Before talking to Bulbasaur, we want Pachirisu and Baneri. This is a little bit where RNG starts becoming unkind to you. So, see, I got really lucky, and there's Baneri right there. Sometimes you just don't get lucky, no one's in your camera view, so you just have to start turning. They can spawn pretty much anywhere in this general vicinity. Like up there on the slope, they could spawn behind you, anywhere over there, towards the left. My recommendation is Baneri is slightly more important, so always go for Baneri first if she's closer, otherwise go get Apache and then come back. So Baneri is also quite an annoying chase. Again, just mash 1. Pikachu tends to auto-aim in this game. Like, I'm not touching the D-pad there. Pikachu's auto-aims onto the opponent, and that's just to make it easier for the children that play this game. And it's a little bit of a useful feature. Okay, so you see here, Pachirisu actually spawned in the background there. This is nice, especially, it's all nice and good, because like, hey, I can go to Pachirisu, it's right there. No, anytime the park is loaded and deloaded, like this, the spawns are randomized, and this is what sometimes you'll hear me refer to dynamic spawning. So I got lucky again. They actually, one Pachirisu is up there with the Baneri. The other one could be way over there. Yeah, it's actually to my left, which is a little bit better because it's closer to Bulbasaur. And this is kind of the thing about this game, you just have to pick and choose your spawns. Sometimes you just have to deal with the bad spawn. Sometimes you'll get a really great spawn after a really bad one that you chase the bad one down. So it's just about praying the game wants to be nice to you. Pachirisu again is a chase, just smash dash, ta-da. So anytime you friend a Pokemon, like Baneri, where it spawns in more Pokemon, so you see Munchlax to my left, he's going to stay there because nothing comes after you friend Pachirisu. So sometimes it could be nice to get Pachirisu first, because then you could see if Baneri's right behind you or not, and then you could prepare. Other times, Baneri's a little bit nicer. But Baneri spawns in Lotad and Shinx, and then that'll randomize the spawns again. So that's what I mean by dynamic spawning, is that they're always changing and always different. They're not always in the same location every single time. Some Pokemon are static, where they always stay in the same position, but those are just few and far between. So once you friend those two, you want to come over here and talk to Bulbasaur, again with better movement than I did. So this is, again, the only time you play an attraction twice in the run. Just get through all this text. You have to play this game with Turtwig. So yes, I want to play. Make sure you always mash plus so you can skip the instructions, and then you want to scroll over to Turtwig. So you can actually cheat a little bit. You might have saw I was like on Shriko or like Chimchar when I was scrolling, and I hit the 2 button. Sometimes I can't really explain this, but like it'll just like take your input and like automatically select the next Pokemon it's about to be on. Once I do that, just play as Turtwig. You have to be careful though, because you might accidentally select Bulbasaur or something like that. So we have to beat this within 10 seconds, 10 and a half seconds, 10.5. So once you shake all the way up to like the max, you don't really need to shake that hard. You can just kind of like lazily shake the Wiimote and you'll be fine. So this is, again, this is the only time we play an attraction twice, and when you do that, this time you have to menu out. Just down twice to quit and stop playing. Otherwise, you lose a lot of time. So you just have to remember to do that with Turchwig. Every other one, you don't have to worry about that. So jump over Bulbasaur. And okay, so Lotad didn't give me a good spawn there, so I'm gonna come back to Lotad. There are a number of battles. So the most popular skill games you're gonna play with Pokemon are either Chase or Battle. A couple of the battles throughout the run will give you an opportunity to quick kill, and I'll explain that when we get to one. So once you're done with Trico there, you want to come over here and hit this tree. This will spawn Caterpie and a berry. So, like this, ta-da, I've gotten 60 berries. And then if Caterpie's on the way, just talk to Caterpie and play Chase. And this is the fastest chase in the game, especially if Caterpie is walking towards you like she is right now. Boom. I don't think I even saw the timer come up. It's the only chase you can do within a frame. And then this will spawn in Butterfree, who we don't really care about. So the next one is Mankey. Now, depending on Lotad or Mankey, it'll give you a whole text box about battles. It just depends on which one is your first one. Mankey is also a scenario where I'm actually going to save here, just so I can show this off a couple times. No. Where you can do a quick kill. Now I'm just going to show the standard strat, and then I'll reload the file and I'll show the quick kill strat. So just get through all the text boxes, blah 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 blah, Mankey will run away. So here you just want to keep running, just run straight into Mankey. They'll start their attack too, but it doesn't matter. Just keep running straight up. And then just dash into them again. It's a little bit faster to run up and do another dash instead of a Thunderbolt there. It just saves a couple of frames. But there's no problem with Thunderbolting on the second try anyways. So that's just the standard strat and what I usually recommend. Also right there, there's a dash frame. You get a couple of those throughout the run. Nice A-Palm. Okay. A lot just happened and I need to explain all of it in order. So with Mankey, when you defeat Mankey, Chimchar will spawn into the Meadow Zone. But for some reason, the game like loads the park and then goes back to unload so you can show off Chimchar. There are 2 frames where you can actively hit the dash button, and you'll get a dash input, and that's what I call a dash frame. And that just saves 1 second, so it just gives you a little bit farther. Now, what I got was a really lucky A-Palm spawn. A-Palm, you're going to need to friend eventually before you leave the Meadow Zone. Now, A-Palm really sucks because she's a chase. There's 2 A-Palms in the Meadow Zone. There's the one I'm talking to, and then there's the one in the background by that white tree. The one by the white tree never moves. That's a static one. This one is dynamic. And sometimes you'll get really great spawns with this. Other times you'll get jack shit. So usually a spawn like this is a godsend because it's just really rare to happen. Because again, dynamic spawns, they can spawn in a really wide variety of area. Basically like on this entire side of the river they can spawn. And then sometimes she'll either run all the way down alongside the river, which is really bad, or she'll run towards Venusaur, which is really good. So I'm actually going to show this, and then I'll show the Mankey thing again. Let's see what kind of RNG she gives. Bad. Okay, see, sometimes she'll go left, sometimes she'll go right. It depends. This is bad RNG because it's just a straight line. There's not a lot of turning that she does, and so you just have to eat all this time as she runs away. And there's nothing you can do about it. 48 is not a great time with A-Palm. Now, if she ran towards Venusaur, that's a dead end, so she'll turn around. Nice Mankey spawn. She'll turn around, and then you run into her. And that's like a 52 to 53, which is a great time. Sometimes a 54, depending on what you're standing. This will also spawn an Ambipom. Now, when you spawn an Ambipom nearby the river, you want to look around. See, this is actually a pretty good spawn. Again, I'm having to go out of order here. So when Ambipom is by the river, you also want to play with her. Now she's a battle, and this is again one of the things with quick kills. If you knock the Pokemon into the river, you can actually do what is known as a quick kill. Let's see if I can get it here. See, I'm gonna do half a quick kill. So by knocking them into the river, it automatically ends the fight in your victory. They can't do that to you, actually. So there's no worry about you getting knocked into the river. Now, normally the strat is to do a Thunderbolt into a dash. Now, during fights, you have two main options. You have three options technically, but we never unlock the third in any percent. So you have two options. You have Thunderbolt and dash. Both do 1 bar of health. However, once you do a dash, they immediately get invincibility frames. However, if you do a Thunderbolt and hit them, they don't immediately get invincibility frames, and then you can do a dash. And that usually gets a 1.5 health bar out. So that's what I call a Thunderbolt combo, or just a T-Bolt combo for short. It allows you to get through the battles a little bit quicker. Now, I'm going to go ahead and reset to show off the Mankey quick kill. Again, Ambipom can spawn anywhere, so getting her near the river is really nice because it saves a whole bunch of time. If not, you want to do 2 T-Bolt combos. And then usually the strat to avoid attacks is just get up really close to them and then just sidestep, which is either tapping left or right twice on the D-pad, and Pikachu will sidestep in that direction during the battle. That's what you saw when she did Rock Throw, or whatever the hell that move was. Loads take very long in this game, by the way. It's a normal thing. This game is still nicer than PokéPark 2, which takes forever to load. You will usually, if you save in an area, you spawn back in at the most recent entry point to that area or zone, which is from the tutorial. So I have to run all the way up there. Motads are also in a good spot, but I'll come back to that one later. So the Mankey quick kill is kind of tough to explain. It's better if I just show it and then do it, or then talk about it. And this is a high level strat, which I wouldn't recommend doing until you're very comfortable with the game, because it only saves 2 seconds. Boom. I saved 3 seconds because that was actually a nice one. So the idea behind that is instead of just running into Mankey twice, which gets you pretty safely at 91, which is a good time. I mean, that's the standard. What you can do is you can run up to make Mankey run at you. You jump over Mankey, and the camera in battles is always based on the opposing Pokemon, which is stupid. You're gonna learn quickly that's a stupid idea, because it just makes battling a lot tougher than it needs to be in some scenarios. But because of that, we can abuse that, and Pikachu can just jump over Mankey, and then we can knock Mankey into the river, just like that. It takes a lot of practice to do that well, and very, very, very rarely Mankey won't run off to the right-hand side instead of going all the way straight like that. See, I got the dash right there again. Again, you just mash 1, and you hope you get it and mash 1. See, now the Apom is way over there, so it's not even worth going for the Apom. Here, you just immediately turn left and keep going. But as far as the Mankey quick kill, a lot of the quick kills are something you have to practice and get used to. Some are worth it, some are not. I would not recommend a lot of the quick kills unless you're going for a very good time, such as like a 221 or better. You could get a 221 without a lot of those quick kills as well, but something you recommend. So Krogunk here is going to steal 200 of your berries, and then give back 170 of them. So really, he steals 30. Here, Krogunk's telling you about sidestepping. Once you're done with all this, just hold forward and just jump over him, and then just dash into the area. Dash all the way straight, and then just mash through a whole bunch of text. You don't need to jump this time. Whole bunch of text. 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 Turn around and just run. You don't have to turn the camera. I like to turn the camera because sometimes if I don't, I run the wrong direction. So here, right out the gate, you just want to hold up and then jump towards Krogunk immediately without dashing or anything, and then just talk to Krogunk. Now we're going to do a fight. This is Krogunk's a static Pokemon, so this is what I call a static fight. This should happen 100 times out of 100 times. Nothing should ever change. He runs to the same spot. You run straight into him. You run up to him. You let him do his attack, and then you just sidestep and then dash into him. Same fight every single time. Nothing should ever change. As long as you do exactly like that, which is pretty easy to do. So once this Scyther cutscene is done, you want to hold up left and jump around Krogunk, and then just keep on dashing. Now, if Ambipom's in a good spot, which she's not, you would friend her, but otherwise just keep on going. Friend Caterpie if you haven't already, which I have. Friend Lotad if you haven't already, which I have not. And Trico. This will work. So Lotad, again, another one of those fights that you can quick kill. If they spawn close enough to the river, this might be not good. Yeah, I'm actually gonna not do this. Yeah. I'm actually gonna knock you over here. So if Lotad's like over here, this is a good spawn for a quick kill. Lotad will run away a little bit, and then you just want to run up and dodge the attack by jumping around it instead of sidestepping. And then just hit them into the river. Like that. And that saves about 8 seconds, usually. And then I would say most of the runs that get here will get an opportunity to quick kill Lotad. Sometimes you just get unlucky and you won't. But more often than not, that's probably the easiest one to do in the entire game. And it's pretty easy to do. You just have to jump around and then just D-pad dash into Lotad. So you need to go friend Spearow. I bumped my mic again, sorry. You need to go friend Spearow. So instead of going straight to Spearow, just run into like the obstacle course. And then it'll just bring you over here. So this is Obstacle Hop. This is a skill game. A skill game. You'll see 3 times, progressively getting harder. It's just platforming. I can't tell you how to platform. You just gotta jump. See, I did that. I got a frame perfect soft hop, and I think I might have let up on the up input. Just jump up 3 times. It's pretty easy the first time. Every now and then you'll make a mistake like that, but nothing too hard. So we're still looking for Trico here, and Trico is kind of a sucky, bad spawn, horrible spawn, bad Pokemon. Not only because they can spawn way the hell over here, which is bad. Nice 360 Lotad. Trico's really fast, but it's necessary to friend Trico, unfortunately. I've tried getting rid of him, but I just can't. My best recommendation is just try not to get juked. If he gets down here, sometimes he'll just juke you and there's nothing you can do about it. Other times he'll get stuck on Chatot like that. You just gotta get lucky and just not get juked. Easier said than done. So once you friend all that, see, those are great spawns for a quick kill setup. Once you've done all that, run all the way back. Again, if Apom's in a good position, which she's currently not, come over to Venusaur. So this time, the second time you see Venusaur, you do have to jump. Jump. And now you have to mash through a whole bunch of text before you can play Venusaur's Vine Swing. Blah 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 blah. And then you have to start paying for attractions as well, starting now. Which again is all factored into the berry route. So I usually recommend playing this when you start off with Krogunk, because Krogunk's the easiest to do this with. However, once you start getting a little bit better, you can use Mankey or Apom if you have Apom at this point. So I usually play with Mankey at this point, just because you always have Mankey. So you need the goal and the bonus. However, the goal is a lot shorter than the bonus usually, so you want the bonus. And the bonus for Mankey is 203.36. So you want to get exactly that, or close to it without going under, but without going too far. Because the farther you go, the more time you're wasting, obviously. And that's why I recommend Apom, because Apom's goal is a 169, I believe, or bonus is 169. Which can make it a little bit tough to do this accurately. But usually you want to swing 3 times just by shaking the Wiimote at the right time, and then just hitting B to let go. So you see I'm going way high. And oop. And why I recommend Mankey once you're done, once you get used to it with Krogunk, is that even if you go as far as you can with Mankey, it's still usually shorter than what you'll get with Krogunk. But always try and make sure you hit the bonus on this one, because if you only hit the goal and not the bonus, you have to replay the attraction, which usually ends up in a reset once you reach a certain time threshold, because you just lose like a minute straight up. So here we get a minute straight up of just text mashing. You're gonna be hearing me complain about this a lot, but a lot of this game is just text mashing. Not as much as PokéPark 2, but a lot of text mashing. Blah 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 blah. Just always click no when you get asked to save. There's no danger of dying in this game. This game is very marathon safe. There's no risk of dying. It's just RNG might make something slow. Hold up left here so you don't bonk on Krogunk. Like that. So at this point, you need to friend Apom and Ambipom if you have not. So that Apom over there kind of sucks. So usually what happens is I go over to this one over here by the tree, and I try to talk at it like right here, because you can kind of change the trajectory that the Apom's going to run at based on what side you're talking from. Not always though, like that. She'll just run past you sometimes. What I wanted for her to do is to go left of where I am right now, and then you can usually get her around 50-something seconds. But if you're lucky, she'll do that sometimes as well. Not all the time. So that was actually a pretty good Apom chase regardless. Again, a lot of varying patterns you can get. It just comes with experience in the game. So Ambipom spawns in. This is why I usually recommend Ambipom. Oh, nice. Good spawn again. You try and get Ambipom sooner than later, because Ambipom, you have to get Ambipom at this point before moving on. Otherwise, it's really slow to get her when you come back to Meadow Zone during the Beach Zone segment, which I'll talk about during the Beach Zone segment. But you're basically locked into this one chance. And more often than not, she's actually not by the river. So I got pretty lucky here. Oops. So I wasn't even close enough that time, which again, still, this is faster than the standard, usually, if you don't do what I just did. Ta-da! And then you just go run to Starlight. I'm actually going to show what the standard combo would look like if she wasn't close to the river, where you could do a quick kill, or a half a quick kill. she'll have more health now, but again, the principle is the same if freaking Torterra. And again, this is actually a live thing that could happen. Pokemon can get in the way, and that Mankey, right? See, I got all sorts of just bopped right now. Okay. So that's the idea. You sidestep, T-Bolt, dash, and that's the T-Bolt combo. A whole bunch of stuff happened in that fight, which I'm actually glad did, because I can talk about it. So Pokemon can totally be in your way during fights. It's gonna happen. You just have to get around them as best as you can. Sometimes they have really big hitboxes, like Torterra. Other times you can get around them pretty easily, like if it's Oddish over here. You can just run through Oddish. This is actually a good point to talk about body sizes. So Pikachu has a pretty small stature, but there's a couple of like knockback types with certain different Pokemon. If they're smaller or equal to Pikachu, you can usually just run through them without any knockback. Depending on their size, like Apom though, you'll bounce off of them. And really big Pokemon like Torterra, you'll get knocked back and you'll get dizzy, which just is a lot of time. So that's the general. Now you saw our Mankey was throwing off some anger marks during the fight. That actually brings up a really good point, which I'm glad I got to show off so early, is that Pokemon can have active emotions in this game, which is silly, I know, but there are 3 major ones you're gonna see. You technically 4, but 3. So this right here means they're talking. It's just, hey, they're talking. It's not really an emotion, but they're doing stuff. Be careful, because people can get mad at it. They can get annoyed, and they'll try to attack you when they're angry. The emotion is random how long it lasts. It can last only for a few seconds like Mankey did, or it can last several seconds, more than 30 from what I've seen. So anger is usually the most common one you're going to see. The next most common one you're going to see is joy, which is signified by the Pokemon singing. You'll see some like music notes around them. Their text boxes change, and then usually it's actually shorter. So if you ever see a Pokemon with joy and you need to talk to them, like friend them or whatever, go for it, because it's usually better than not. Again, depending on location and such. Sometimes you can talk to Pokemon out of the anger and they'll still play with you. Other time, more often than not, though, they won't want to do anything with you out of the anger emotion. And then the final emotion that almost never comes up, I've only ever seen it. Here, let's experiment with Mankey. Yeah, sometimes you can talk to them out of the anger, and then they'll play with you. But other times they'll just like nope, and then they'll attack you. The very last one that I can almost guarantee you will never see, because I've seen it maybe twice in my time of playing this game, is it's kind of like a spooked emotion or distraught, where they have like these little like purple wisps around them, and it kind of like is to signify that they're scared or sad. If I recall correctly, they won't play games with you when they're in that emotion, but they won't attack you either. But again, that emotion never comes up, and it's only on a select few Pokemon. Another thing is when Pokemon are talking to each other or get close to each other or are about to talk, you can see them walking towards each other. They can play skill games too. It's annoying. Frankly, it's really annoying. Sometimes Mankey or walk up. See, these two, they walked up really close, and then they can just start playing chase. So you're running, you're about to talk to Ambipom, and then Ambipom runs away on a chase. That's just part of the game. It's really unfortunate how it happens. Hopefully it doesn't happen to you. It will probably happen to you in the time that you're playing this game, if you play more often than not, but yeah, that's pretty much the basics of the Meadow Zone. Basically at the end here, once you've got all your Pokemon you need a friend, you just run up and talk to Starly, who will talk to you about this. So if you press the B button, as I told you, it'll center Pikachu's camera. If you point the Wiimote at the screen and press B, when it's centered, I just did it, come on. It's a little fickle. I don't know why it does this. There we go. You have to point it like at the Wii sensor bar, but sometimes it doesn't pick it up. You can look through first person and take pictures and stuff. Never comes up in a run. Don't ever do this. You will press the B to just center your camera, but you should never be pointing your Wiimote at the screen unless it's during interaction. So once you talk to Starly, you just want to hug the right-hand wall and then just run up to the meeting place. And then, yep. So that's about it for the tutorial plus Meadow Zone areas of the 80% tutorial. Here I'll get you this little cinematic of the meeting place. Coming next is everyone's favorite, not mine, the beach zone, which is probably, in my opinion, the hardest to learn just because of the wide open areas that Pokemon can spawn in. But I will handle all of that for next time. So thanks everyone for watching, and leave any comments if you have any questions about certain things. I will try and answer any questions about any specific scenarios that have come up during the events of the tutorial. Again, this is all played and commentated at the same time, just to make it easier on me to explain everything. Until the next part. See you guys next time.